we're not going to stop here. That would be wild.
No, that would be wild. People have already started asking about when and where can we find, Matthew, your top 50 games. We're actually going to do it after this series.
Yeah.
Right? And it's going to be here on the same channel. Right?
Yeah.
You put your autograph on that piece of paper, so you can't take that back now. It's going to be on this channel.
I did.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm absolutely happy to do that. And I don't know if we're going to do one mega video or we're going to do it in 5 videos, or how we're going to do it, or we'll talk about.
We're gonna. Well, I had a plan. We're going to do 50 videos.
Dave Luzapalooza, top 100 games of all time. Dave Luzapalooza, some are great, some just fine. Dave Luzapalooza, here telling you just how it is. It's Matthew Jude.
Welcome everyone to the next 10 games in my top 100 games of all time. With me, Matthew. Matthew.
Hello.
I'm so happy that you have nothing else in your life to do than sit here while we record this.
It's a privilege.
Well, for me as well, so that's nice.
I'm excited.
Yeah, the games are... Last week, I remember, it was just bangers.
So, yeah, there's not that many to go now. So these are the creme de la creme. This is getting into the very best of the best. And so far, so good. There's some games coming up, which I know I'm not going to like. But that's fine, because you can play those with other people.
That's true. But I have to say, the amount of times you said, oh, I really want to play that game, is like, huh.
Yeah, there's a lot that we have a game week planned out just for you to show me games that you love, right? There's that amount of games. Yeah. I can think about 20 games off your list that is like, you love them, I've never played them, let's go. So that would be great. Yeah. I'd lose every one, but that's fine.
It's not about winning.
Good.
First one. It's not about winning. We'll let Ilka win this one. For some reason, Ilka wins this game. Nokosu Dice.
She's a savant when it comes to this game.
Yes, she is a savant. Now, this is a trick-taking game. It uses cards, but not only cards. You are also rolling dice. And the dice work, so when your dice that you have, and which are visible for every other player to see, they are the same as cards. So if you have rolled a blue 5, you can play the blue 5 from your hand, or you can play the 5 dice. It's the same thing. But of course, what could happen is that other players might have the same blue dice or the same card. So you can have the same values in one trick. There are two things that really mess with your brain in this game, as always with trick-taking games, but there's a twist. Well, the twist in this one is you're also using dice. You are also predicting what the amount of tricks you think you are going to get, which is very special. It's going to be the amount of pips on the last dice that you have in your possession.
Well, what's cool is that there's open information and closed information. Your cards are secret, but your dice aren't secret. So that's a big twist in a trick-taking game, that some of your cards are... Everyone knows what they are. So you can plan a little bit. And the other twist is there's a game before the game with this, which is trying to buy a copy. That is a wild, exciting experience where sometimes you get there and you think, I'm going to queue up at the booth because they only brought 20 copies, and I'm going to get to the booth and I've got a press badge so I can get into Essen early. And you get there and the line is just full of all these people already who work for Renegade Games, and they work for this company and they work for this company, and they are all got in with their exhibitors badges, and they end up not selling any of the game to anyone in the board game hobby other than people who work in the hobby.
Yeah,
it's very frustrating. I understand this one is much more widely available now, from what I gather. Yeah. But we tried to get this game a couple times, me and you together,
and it did not work
unsuccessfully. And I ended up, I got you a copy of this game, right?
Yes, and I still don't know how you got that copy.
There's a company in the UK called Travel Games, and he imports games from Japan directly. So I bought a copy from him. and for you to have.
It has Japanese rules. That's true, but they're double-sided. So
They are double-sided, but it's a great one.
I
This
always
is
make that stupid joke. Here's the rules if you want to get a head start. Just give you the Japanese rules. I can't help myself. So that's hard to do. Then it's when I see that you already got 2 tricks and the only 2 dice you have left is a blue 5 and a red 1. Then I can force you to play that blue 5 because you need to follow suit.
Yeah.
So I play blue, and hopefully you don't have any blue cards, so you have to play that blue 5. So you predict it. You wanted to stick with the blue 5, but I made you already.
It's nice that
your prediction.
In a lot of trick-taking card games where you have to do the bidding at the start, which I do enjoy that. You can mess people up by everyone's bid is open information, right? So it's like, oh, I'm going to win 3 tricks. Skull King, I've bid 3. I want to win 3 tricks. And yeah, you're trying to mess everyone up on their bids. That's a huge part of that type of game, Skull King, for instance. But on this, it feels like not only can you mess people up on their bids, but it feels different because you get to change what they bid because I'm forcing you to change what you bid. So I know that I know you want to go for 5 tricks because you got 4 tricks, and I know that you don't want to go for the 1. So I'm going to force you to change your bid, and that's
that's
fun.
one part of the game. Now, another part of the game is this is what really breaks things. In the beginning of the game, you start off with 2 dice that were just rolled and they were just assigned to you, but then you can draft 2 more dice. So you will end up with 4 dice on your personal tray. So all those dice are being rolled and they come back to you and you choose one of them. But the last dice, there's one more than there is the amount of players, is going to decide both the number and the color that is going to be trump this round.
That's right, yeah.
That adds another layer of complexity to the game. I mean, if you just hear this, oh, that's cool, that's how you decide what the trump is. But now you have a dice that is deciding that says, oh, it's a yellow 4. Okay, that means all yellows are now part of the trump suit, but all 4s are even better trumps.
Yeah. They're super trumps
with
almost.
the yellow 4 being the best one out there. So maybe someone is holding the yellow 4 card because that's part of the game. But maybe there were more yellow dice out. So maybe someone already has a yellow 4 knowing, haha, this is the highest card. Unless someone needs to play the yellow 4 card because if this game says the second one played wins the trick.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on, and you will make mistakes because all the yellows and all the 4s being part of the trump suit now means you cannot play a red 4 on a red trick if you have other reds because the 4 is actually a trump now. So
it's
that
a
will
little
break
bit
your mind.
It's a bit confusing in that way, but there's a lot to love in this one, and it's like the reason that we like Niet so much. Both of us love Niet, is that original. There's the bidding portion at the start of Niet. It feels like a separate little mini game, and that's kind of what you get in Nokosu Dice as well. It's like you're really strategizing that little draft at the start, and you think I'm going to make it so that all yellow dice come out, and there's 1 yellow dice and a blue dice left, and you think, oh well, I'm going to take the yellow dice then. So now blue is powerful. And I have some blues in my hand, and all the yellow dice people drafted, hoping that there'll be a yellow left over, aren't as good. So there's some mind games happening in this one, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's a good one. There's a reason
really
it was
good.
so popular, and it wasn't just scarcity.
Number 30, Nokosu Dice. Next up is... I'm also surprised, by the way, because I named the files for the next picture, for like the lower third, to just being the number. So I don't know what the number is. So you don't know
what's coming up.
Oh, it's Wingspan. Oh, wait, how is this in the top 30 and not higher? It should be in the top 10, right? It's such a good game. Are you a fan of Wingspan?
I don't like Wingspan. This is a big difference between me and you. I don't care for Wingspan, I'm afraid. But I'm glad you like it.
living with Ilka sounds like a problem. No, it's not. It's not at all. But Ilka loves all things nature. So having beautiful art on the cards of real birds that exist that you can actually go outside and see does a lot for and this gets the theme gets Ilka to play this game, which it's such a great game. It's a gateway game at this point.
Yeah, I suppose it's Gateway Plus. I think there's a few. Yeah. There's quite a bit going on at times. You can take a turn where you don't do that much, but you can take turns where, okay, so, and now this and this and this happens and stuff, and you're trying to build these mini engines to run as well, which is fun, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose. I just don't love this game as much. Maybe part of it is the hype around the game that kind of put me off.
Oh.
But I'm not willing to say it's a bad game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just not for me. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's one of the best-selling board games of all time. It's not a bad game. If I said that, I'm wrong. I'm happy to admit that. I prefer a game called Raising Robots, which I think took the premise of Wingspan and created a better game out of that premise. But Raising Robots wouldn't exist without Wingspan, I don't think. But
okay.
But yeah, do you play with any of the
Raising Robots? No.
You would like that game a lot. Do you play with the expansions for Wingspan? Do you have a specific one that you enjoy the most?
It's just more stuff. All the expansions, they don't change the game. You could play a two version. Wingspan Asia gives you a two-player experience. But we just add everything in. We have everything for this game. Everything. We have the big box.
Do you have the nesting box? Do you have the...
Yes.
There was a bunch of decks that were made from different fans of the game. You've got all those? Yeah, okay. So you've got everything, yeah.
I still have a couple. I bought all the fan expansion packs, and I'm gifting them to Ilka one at a time. I still have a couple in a drawer. She doesn't know. So if there's something to celebrate, maybe I forgot or something's going to say, no.
That's a great idea. That's such a devious... You can tell you've been married for a while. That's a great plan.
I remember getting all 6 packs at the same time. It's like, let's trickle this.
Yeah, let's trickle these out. I got you this. Oh no, I didn't forget, but you're gifted.
What I actually did was I was very proud of myself. I created three special Wingspan cards for I think it was for Christmas. I gifted Ilka. She really wanted to see a specific show on Broadway on West End in London. So I created cards that said, "Hey, you're going on a flight." So I made this big bird that looked like an airplane, and I made it in the specific art, and then I put it on one of those cards. So she was like, "Oh, this is lovely." It's like, "Oh, thank you for this small pack of cards." And then she looked at it. Wait, is that Cynthia Erivo? Yes, she the Wicked Witch was playing Dracula on West End.
That's right.
In a special show. So I made that look like her and have a bird beak and all green. It was really lovely, and I'm
cute.
very proud of all I did.
So Wingspan.
But Wingspan is such a good game.
If you don't know the game, there's a million videos for it, but essentially it's a game where you're trying to put birds into these different lanes, these different habitats, and you want to score points for these bonus cards that you have, like end-game scoring, but you want to get eggs, you want to tuck cards, you want to have certain food, you want to do all little ways to get points everywhere and run an engine. It's like, now I get to tuck one card, which is going to be a point, now I get an egg, and there's a lot of management going on. I don't think this is as gateway as people say it is, but yes, it's certainly a game people enjoy.
Yeah. Wingspan.
That's so diplomatic, isn't it? This is certainly a game that others enjoy.
Yeah. Next up, Pandemic Legacy Season 1, which is a catch-all, but Season 1 was the best experience. So Pandemic is still a game that
still a game.
Is a co-op game. Everyone is someone in the health industry. No, that makes it sound weird. But everyone is in working for the World Health Organization, specifically the disease control.
Yeah,
There's a
disease
word.
control.
You know the word. What? And so you might be a doctor.
CDC,
you might
right?
be the CDC. Yes. You might be an immunologist.
That's the word.
So everyone has these different roles, but we're playing on the world map. It's almost like a risk map.
Yeah.
With all these different cities on the board and there's already people sick. There are 4 different sicknesses on the 4 different parts of the world, and you need to go in and contain these so they don't turn into a real epidemic or a pandemic, which is, of course, that would be the worst. The system is genius. The way some cities are more prone to get sick in a specific sickness, so you can give them names, but that would, don't do that. And they
Just
said,
blue. Blue is bad.
Yeah, the blue. London always gets this blue sickness. Oh, it's terrible. And so you need to send a doctor to London to cure as many people as he can in London. And then, oh no, I can't go to London now because there's this other disease in Kinshasa that I really need to take care of. So, okay, blue is turning into this epidemic, and it turns sicker, which means it's going to infect all the cities surrounding it, and that can turn into another explosion. If that city next to London was already at its max of what it could handle, then it will explode again and give more diseases to all the cities surrounding that. So it cascades into this huge pandemic, which is really thematic and really nice.
In the original game, there's a bunch of ways to lose, and you're really trying to contain and eradicate these different diseases, but the system is that you draw from a deck of cards. And I saw a really great sketch recently, which was, I love this system in Pandemic where, the diseases come out in these different areas, and then when something happens, you shuffle them all back into the deck. And the person said, on top of the deck? And he's like, what? He says, you don't shuffle them back into the deck. You shuffle them back on top of the deck. And they went,
only those cards?
It's like, no, that can't be true. And it's like, it's on top of the deck. And so the bad cities that have already come out, they're going to come out again. So it's a lot of containment and management, and it's a classic. There's 1,000 different versions of this game as well. If you like Lord of the Rings, if you like World of Warcraft, if you like Ancient Rome, if you like the Netherlands, there's a lot of different rising tides.
The theme of Pandemic, Rising Tides, indeed, where the water is attacking the country on 4 different fronts.
Yeah,
it's
and there's
basically
Cthulhu
the
as
same
well.
idea, but
so there's lots of different versions.
Yeah, but this one is specifically a legacy version. Now, is this the first legacy game we're talking about on our top 100? But what a legacy game is that the decisions that we make in this game that we're playing now is going to affect the plays after this. So very clear, if we don't control London, if there's an epidemic, we need to actually put a sticker on the map that says London has been the source of a pandemic or an epidemic, or so bad things happen in London. And if we play the next time, the game remembered, things already went bad in London. If that happens again in London, we put a 2 on it. From now, this moment on, London will always be dangerous. And then if it happens again in London, we put another 6. And it could be that London is no longer part of the world because we just had to say, you know what? Let's forget about London.
Shut it down. Shut London
down.
So the game evolves as the plays go on, and it remembers what happens, and new events are going to come out, and new roles are going to happen, new abilities are going to show up, whole new game mechanisms might appear, and cards that you've been using before might be going away. And this Pandemic Legacy Season 1 is often people's favourite ever Legacy game because it was the one. This was the first real Legacy hit game, I feel like. Was it the first Legacy game in general? I don't know if it was. No, because Risk Legacy came out
Legacy
first.
was already, The game comes with extra little boxes, secret boxes that you're not allowed to open. There are a lot of sticker sheets that you're not allowed to see yet, because that keeps it exciting. And some things that happen in the game, they really work like a good action TV show.
Yeah.
And that's the way I like to compare it a lot. It's like, ooh, but then this happens, and then this happens. And there's a specific moment in this game where you open up a box and then you're like, and my mind was completely blown. I will not spoil it if you have
like
not
there's a
played
candle in this box. No, that's a different legacy game.
That's another legacy game. There's a blue light that that's also.
I've never played this. I've never played Pandemic Legacy Season 1 or any of the. I've never played a legacy game actually at all, because I've never had the opportunity to play a legacy game. But this is the one that I've owned this. I got rid of it. I was like, what's the point? But I
actually played with a group. I mean, I played with Ilka and Yoshi. That's our legacy group. But I also played this solo, which definitely worked. And I streamed it, and I actually made a whole puppet series on it. Insert puppet video. Haha. There's more of these.
Great. They exist. These exist. What's next?
Awesome game. I wish I could just forget that I played this and play it again.
Yeah, that's the problem. That you can't go back. It's done.
Yeah.
The experience.
Well,
but there's also
you know
Pandemic.
what you know. Yeah. Skulking. This is such a great trick-taking game. Where you have to do yo ho ho, and with your fingers you point out the amount of tricks you think you are going to win in this round, after of course seeing your cards. It is a trick-taking game with a little twist. Some cards have special abilities. You have pirates that can just trump a trick, but there's also the Skull King, who is actually able to beat pirates if they have been being played. But then there's the mermaid, who can actually lure the Skull King. So you're never certain of the amount of tricks that you're going to have. There's an expansion for this game that adds the Kraken. The Kraken comes out and just takes the trick with it. So everyone thinks, someone is going to get this trick. No.
And there's another one There's another one that makes it.
Whale.
It just makes it so that's just the values and the colors don't matter anymore. And there's cards where you can retreat. There's just flags, and there's cards that are flags and things. And there's another part of the expansion that gives everyone the different pirates of special abilities. They've made this into. This is one of my favorite games of all time. So this is. It's just never bad. It's always a good time. It's just. I love this game so dearly. I love this game so much. You
can play this game easily with new players. They might have an idea of what trick-taking is, like they played in whatever country you lived in. In the Netherlands, we used to play a lot of hearts or klaverjassen, which means everyone already knows kind of what trick-taking is. So then you just say, okay, well, the suits are different. The black suit is the pirate suit, is always trump. That makes it easy as well. But there are just some cards that are special, like the actual pirates and the mermaids and the flags. This is such a good game.
One of the best things about this game is that you can shoot the moon. So the way you score is you get points for, if you meet your bid, say I bid 3 and you meet that bid, you get 30 points. That's correct? But you always do the scoring when we play. But there's a cool thing where you can say, I'm not going to win any tricks, and you get 10 times the round in points. So if it's round 7, because you start off with 1 card in round 1, in round 7 you've got 7 cards, you say, I'm going to score no tricks, you're going to get 10 times the round in points. So you get 70 points if you manage to meet your bid, which is what I'm always going to do. But the problem is, if you don't hit your bid, you're going to lose that many points. So someone can be on positive 200 and someone can be on minus 200. That's very possible.
Yeah.
It's great.
We always play a special round on round 1 where you're not allowed to look at your own card. It's a house rule. Everyone just puts their card on top of their face and then shows to everyone, what do you have? And then you do the bidding. So you can't see your own card, but looking at the others, you might have an idea. But of course, if you're looking at
And there's only 10 points up for grabs in the first round.
Yeah,
No one ever
it's
wins.
not,
Yeah.
it just kickstarts the game a little bit. Like, hey, that's the theme of this top 100. Games that kickstarts are just better. That's number 27. Skulking is going to be an amazing list again. I know it is. Next up, Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship. Now, this is the system of Pandemic again. But now it has a Lord of the Rings theme on it. So this is like what we just talked about, Pandemic. That it was a legacy game. Now it is the theme of Lord of the Rings. I think it's so well done. This game is so well made. It has a huge Eye of Sauron, which is actually a dice tower. But it really, you need to build it, and it stands up, and it has the eye on it. And it has the Nazgul, like these huge winged creatures who are actually floating above the board. Thematically, it's so Lord of the Rings. You play as different characters each time, but Frodo is always in it. Sam and Frodo, they are like one. They are like one. And the goal of the game is definitely to have them go all the way through the board, find a way to get to Mordor and throw the ring into the volcano. But there's a lot of side quests that all the different characters that you choose to play with, they all make the game a different game. So each game is definitely going to be different. It's a co-op game, so you're working together. It's very thematic, and it makes sense.
It's a big game. The board is a little bit busy, I think. But other than that, it's so strange that they managed to make... People wanted Lord of the Rings in a box. And there's lots of games that do battles, Lord of the Ring battles in a box. Battle of Legends of the Five Armies, whatever it's called, and those type of things. But this feels like Lord of the Rings in a box. And they did that with Pandemic. It's an incredible feat of a game, and I can understand this being a lot of people's favorite game of all time because it pairs board games and it just does it all so well with the theme and stuff. You think, oh, another Lord of the Rings game? I think this kind of is the Lord of the Rings game at this point. You know?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah,
it's a great feat.
Yeah. The Lord of the Fellowship, Lord of the Rings. Fellowship of the Ring. Next up is...
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, Gaia Project.
Yay.
I gifted you this game. You better be happy about this.
I don't know if I love this. You did gift it me.
When you talk about board games, I used to say I want my decisions to determine if I win the game or not. That means I don't want to roll dice, and if I accidentally roll a 6, I win the game just because I happened to roll the 6, right?
But you rolled the 6, Dave. You did it.
No, it was Lady Luck who rolled the 6.
Okay.
So when I play a game, I want to outsmart everyone. Now, this is one of these games, Gaia Project, where there's no luck involved. The only thing you have to mitigate is the other players. So all the choices that I make are my choices, and if I win, it's because I made the better choice than you did.
Very true.
Which makes this... This game has the theme of being in space. There's also a Terra Mystica, which is basically the same game but on land.
There's also the Age of Innovation one, which is the similar game but streamlined. And there's also Freya's Swamp, which is made by the same people who made all these games and has shares some DNA. Let's put it that
There's
way.
also Terra Nova, which is streamlined Terra Mystica.
There's a lot of games in this series now that I think about it. But yeah.
Everyone starts off with a specific race that is different from everyone else, and it's going to play totally different. And that's lovely. This game does get very complicated. It's very thinky. You need to not only think about what you want to do, but because you're the only people you're playing, or you're not playing the game as much. You're playing the other people. So you need to think ahead of what those people might be doing, and that might turn this game into a heavier game than it maybe is. There's technologies, and there's it is a big game, and this is also one of these games where you have resources at the beginning of the round, and then you're trying to do as much as you can until you're done. And sometimes you were working towards building this one big thing, and it's like, but now all my money is gone again. I have to pass. And passing actually does give you a bonus in this game. It's one of these things that the turn order is important, and being the first to pass might give you an opportunity to grab a specific tile that is available, although the other part is true as well.
This is one of those big Euro board games that's been in the hobby for a very long time. That is, I think everyone should try one of the games in this series. I think that's fair to say. Oh, you should probably try one of the games in this series of games, because there's a strong chance you might really love it, because the people who love this game. I know Mike played it recently, and he was just like, I had a great time, just played it. We just sat down and played it for ages, and he loved every second of it.
It's going to be a long game. It's because there are so many different big games out that no one remembers the rules perfectly, at least not everyone playing. That means part of the game is, we're playing this game. Awesome. How did it go again?
How does this... Yeah, big time.
So there's definitely... You have the feeling you know how this game works, but when you actually start playing... I mean, I know how to play this game. I just forgot the setup. So we looked at the rule book. We're doing it during a live stream. It was me and Mr. Peebles, and we were in one room together, and for 2 hours, we could not set up the game, because there was so much going on. Of course, when you're streaming, you're also talking to people, but we just had to pivot. But it's a huge game. Number 25, Gaia Project.
To say it's been out for such a long time, still so high on your list, says a lot about it, right? I mean,
I used to have this Monday night gaming group, and this was one of the games that we would just go back to. And so you really got to know all these different boards, and then there was expansions, and you would,
That's a great way to play any game. Nations, the dice game, though, at number 24. I love Nations so much. It's so wonderful, and the dice game is also a lot of fun. I do prefer the main big Nations game, but the dice game is so great, and there's an expansion, Unrest, the expansion, I think it's called.
That's definitely part of the game.
Add that in. This is great. Yeah. Tell us about this one.
Every player starts with, you can choose to be the same basic nation, but it's more fun to have a specific nation. You're playing like America, which means you start with extra dice, or you play as, I don't know, Egypt, which starts with a special extra space to build your wonders. So everyone has this little difference, but everyone has the same amount of dice. You also have chits. I think that's what we call it, right? Chits?
Yeah, chit, yeah.
That gives you... It's like a token that you can use. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's a sword, sometimes it's books that are these different resources in this game. And you roll the dice, and then you buy things from a board that you can buy things. Some things you need to buy with coins. Others are territories that you need to conquer with swords, and they all end up on your board. You only have room for a specific amount of buildings, so if you buy a new building, you need to cover something, but that building gave you access to a specific dice, so you now lose that dice, and but sometimes you gain more dice, so you roll those again.
Yeah, you're trying to upgrade what you can do, essentially, as you go. But it's... the actual board game version of this is it's not a huge board game, but it's a fairly big endeavor to play. It's not like it's a massive game, but
it is a massive game.
I love Civilization style games. I don't get to play them enough, and this does this gets all that feeling of the big board game into a smaller dice game that's much quicker to play and stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a good.
I really
one.
love it. It's really a dice game, so you're really chucking dice and having fun with it. And I really now want to play the normal game with you, Matthew. Do you own it?
Yeah, I do. It's right there. Absolutely.
Nice. We should get into that. Maybe I should come to you.
You should do. Just break for 1 second. Just break for 1 second. I've got to plug my computer. That would be unfortunate to my computer to die. I'm back.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm back.
Next up is Clank.
Clank.
Catacombs. Clank came out, well, also some time ago. Clank is...
good long time ago.
There's everyone is playing as a character, and we're going into a dungeon because we need to get an artifact. That's and is going to be worth a specific amount of points. The problem is the best artifacts that are worth the most points are way deep into the dungeon, which is not a problem, as if there's this tiny thing. There's this huge dragon that lives in the catacombs, and he does not see you that well, but he hears everything. So every time you make a sound, he's like, "Whoop!" And it's like the Eye of Sauron. He's going to try and attack you. It's a lovely game that has a lot of theme to it. A lot of expansions came out that did a lot of things.
The cool thing
with
it,
deck builder.
It's a deck builder, but the fun part is that it's not only about you want to dive into the dungeon to get something out, and I grabbed the thing and it's worth this many points. Brilliant. That's not how it works at all. You have to push your luck with this game. I'm going to go and grab something because you don't get any points unless you can also get out of the dungeon. You have to escape as well. So maybe you don't go that deep, you get something that's worth some points, and you come out first, hoping that other people are going to try to get more points by going deeper, but they don't get out in time. So that's the beauty of this, and it's all done in a deck-building way. But this has tiles, right?
Yeah, well, that's where I was slowly getting to. Once you've played the base game of Clank, which is just called Clank, this is Clank Catacombs, which is a difference, you know what, I could just run in, grab the first artifact, and just run out. That will win me the game, because the game ends if there's this timer mechanic in it, which is kind of, there's a good way to play this game, and you don't want that. So Clank Catacombs actually gives you a lot of things that you don't know. You don't know where these awesome artifacts are going to be. So you're building the dungeon as you are exploring it. And sometimes you go into like this loop that you can't go back through, so you need to find an exit. Adding more tiles to the dungeon, and in the meantime the dragon is going to get wilder and wilder, and
this makes the exploration aspect of being in the dungeon much more real and different, and evolves each game
important
and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
you can't solve the game as much as you could in a previous game. So I think this is an awesome way of playing the game. There's also a legacy version of Clank. There's actually a second legacy version of Clank. I played through the first one, which was fine. The second one I have not tried. The problem for me with the new rules being added is that I am the person who is in charge of rules in all of the board games, which means I am the person who is in charge of keeping track of all the new rules. And that usually also includes those little tiny things that other people will forget, but I am in charge of rules, so I don't forget. So I need to remind everyone, oh, don't forget, this is happening. So that's too much. Maybe it's my gaming group.
Do you know what? It's such a huge thing. I played Magical Athlete yesterday with my mom.
I played Magical Athlete yesterday.
I played it with my mom, my sister, and my niece. And none of them are board gamers. But they were like, we want to play a game. So I was like, okay, we'll play Magical Athlete. And I brought it down and stuff. And I thought, this will work, hopefully. But for the first game we played, it was me playing every person. I had to I had to go, okay, let's go. And my mum would roll a dice, and I'd say, and that means that you get to move forward one, and you get to do this now because that person's power activated. And remember, they rolled a 6, so you get to move 2. And it's like, and I just had to eventually say, I'm not reminding anybody what you've got one thing. You roll a dice and do your special power. I'm not going to remind everyone what's happening. Yeah. And it was fine. They're all very, very inexperienced when it comes to board games. So I was very happy to facilitate it. But at some point you have to say, okay, I'm not doing it now. Everyone all you have to do is read your cards before you roll your dice every turn and make sure that you know that you have one thing to do. But yeah. So in a game like Magical Athlete, that can become tiring. So in a game like Clank...
well, at some point, people will kind of are supposed to get what they're...
Yeah, absolutely.
Some powers are easier than the others. But Clank Catacombs, the deck building, it's so nice to see deck building again in a new way. So you're improving your deck, maybe getting cards that are really powerful, but the downside is they really make a lot of noise.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the dragon will hear you and... but you could also try to mitigate that to get a slower deck, but at least get rid of those noisy cards. So you might not get a big bonus, but...
I could do a diving leap that allows you to move 3 spaces. That's great. But diving leap, it's going to make a load of noise. So,
So a lot of fun, crazy fun in Clank Catacombs. It's not like a party game. You're actually doing things.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to win. Next up, number 22 is Great Western Trail, El Paso.
Interesting.
This is a Great Western Trail is that big game that is bring your cows to Kansas and then sell them. This is El Paso. It came out last year. It makes the game shorter, faster, which means I get to play it more often, which means just more time to enjoy.
Because it doesn't feel wildly different to playing the original. It does streamline quite a lot, but it doesn't feel. It's got this. You get the same Great Western Trail feeling from playing this game, right?
Yes. It's very more clear what those 3 different things can do. What I tell everyone when we play Great Western Trail is just buy cowboys that will allow you to buy better cattle that is going to be worth more when you sell them in Kansas. That's the first strategy you could go for. The other strategy is try to get train conductors because they allow you to move your train faster to get at specific points. That gives you ways to score points that no one else can do. So, okay, you go for train conductors. And then you have the other option is try to get more workers because they are able to build you specific buildings that are going to do awesome things for you. That's the base game of the normal game of Great Western Trail. But in El Paso, everyone can see way easier what the benefit is going to be for those people. So it streamlines the game. It makes it a faster game, and there's more joy. I think there's more joy in other people for playing this, and that gives me more joy because we get to play this more often.
And it's a great way to start. It's a great way to start your Great Western Trail experience, right?
Yes,
play
definitely.
This one
If you know that you like this, then it's just a smaller step to playing the bigger game. The game board is actually a piece of cloth. They thought, we're going to do something different. We're not going to give you a big cardboard board, but we're going to give you a piece of cloth that has the board printed on it. Don't do that.
They're always bad. They're always bad every single time.
I can't even. I don't know why you would do that.
It's always not good, and it's just blows my mind. I didn't know that.
But then it wants to be rolled up, so when you unfold it, it's like, let me roll up. So no, stay like this. I have to put weights on the corners.
They perfected board games, and it's in the name. If you're playing a board, that's the perfect way to do it. So
it's not a cloth game.
So yes, exactly.
But is Great Western Trail better than its big version? It's a different version.
Yeah.
But if the other one is on my list, you have to stick around and find out. Next up is the final game in this video, number 21, Underwater Cities.
This is
another this is really a good game. Another game that has a ton of cards that all do something different. And this is the game that gave me resources that I had never thought of that were, you know what, we should make a game and then have kelp be a resource.
And
Why
you
would we
want kelp as well. You desperately
you
want kelp. Oh my goodness, yes.
Loads of different cards that you need to be actively reading to see it. How are they going to be valuable for me? Then there is this board that you can place your cards on. If you play them on specific spots, they're going to give you bonuses. So you want to have the best of all the worlds, which is very hard to do. But again, it's one of these games that I know I'm going to try and make my decisions be better than your decisions.
Yeah.
Everyone's working on their underwater cities. The game comes with these beautiful little domes that you can put on your player mat.
Yeah, it looks
you
great.
Need to connect them, and it's really good, and I really enjoy it.
Compared to Terraforming Mars quite a lot. I think it's basically because of the cards. The cards in the game do that.
Yeah.
And I see that, but this is, I think, an underrated game in general. And I remember I played this a few times, but it's been a long time since I played this. And I remember really, really enjoying this game. But it's tough. I mean, it's a big game. There's a lot to think about. And you have to really actively be working and read, because you're building this engine, essentially. And you really got to be thinking about what you're doing. But there's a lot to love in this one. Do you play with this with the expansions?
Oh, yes. The expansions gave us triple layered boards. Which made it so much easier to put the tokens down and put the things in, and look, this goes here, and whoop, it would be snug and double-sided as well, so you can play with different boards. Everyone could have either the same or have a specific one. So Underwater Cities wasn't all these cards, games that come with all these different cards. It has big deck energy. Is that a term we could use? Big deck energy games. I thought it's just cool. Of course, if you know that a specific card in the deck, you really want to get that one. In Ark Nova, you're looking for that one card that gives you a monkey, and then, oh no, all these cards don't give me monkey. So on one side, don't go looking for one card.
You can't
really put an effort in and work
but you've got to
towards
put
getting
so
to
much of
see
your
more cards.
energy and resources into trying to make something happen that you know could happen, when you could be putting that energy into all the other ways you could be scoring points and winning the game.
Yeah.
So
deal with the cards you have in your hand and not plan that much ahead, like we talked about in Seven Wonders.
Yeah. This is very high.
Cities.
Very high for Underwater Cities. I'm glad to see it. I don't think people think about Underwater Cities that much anymore, and it's a good one.
No, there's just a new expansion came out.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I did not try, but so more stuff to breathe new life into Underwater Cities. It's just a good game.
20 more games, though, are better than Underwater Cities. What are they? Well, if you want to find out, the best way to do that is...
We're going to tease it. I wanted to tell you which are the 20 games
You can't do it. The best way to find that is to subscribe to the channel if you've been enjoying this, and you'll find out when the next video comes out, because we're not going to stop here. That would be wild.
No, that would be wild. People have already started asking about when and where can we find, Matthew, your top 50 games. We're actually going to do it after this series.
Yeah.
Right? And it's going to be here on the same channel. Right?
Yeah.
You put your autograph on that piece of paper, so you can't take that back now. It's going to be on this channel.
I did. I'm happy. I'm absolutely happy to do that. And I don't know if we're going to do one mega video, or we're going to do it in 5 videos, or how we're going to do it, or we'll talk about. I had a plan. We're going to do 50 videos. 50 videos.
Actually, 55. Now we're going to see what happens. So stick around. Thank you so much. That's Matthew, and this is me. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions or want to give us your recommendations, please do so, because I'm planning on making this list next year again, and things might change.
Very
things
possible.
Have already changed. Who knows?
Thank
you so
very
much.
Interesting.
Bye-bye. Dave Luzapalooza, top 100 games of all time. Dave Luzapalooza. Some are great, some just fine. Dave Luzapalooza. Here telling you just how it is. It's Matthew Jude.